Coach Erica Janelle, coming before you guys again on this Thursday. I'm hoping everybody had a good day yesterday. And I'm hoping that you guys gave a little heed to the message that I shared with you guys yesterday about embracing your sexuality. And I wanted to kind of just talk a little bit more about that because I do feel like shame and confidence are two key things that affect a woman's ability to be free, or a person's ability to be free to be themselves. And when you're confident in who you are and what you bring to the table, and confident in your body, confident in, knowing what you like and knowing what you deserve, I think that's when you will truly be able to really understand what true intimacy is. And it took me a very long time to break that mindset of always focusing on what I could do to please my partner and how I could make, them happy in the bedroom. And it took me a long time to really embrace what I needed to make me happy in the bedroom. What I needed to feel from my partner that would make me feel a level of confidence. It's a lot of those issues stem from years and years and years of watching the image of what beauty is based on society. As we mentioned yesterday, a lot of that is spent even from hearing negative thoughts about your body and about the way you look. And I think a lot of times not a lot of times, all the time, that pretty much is probably 90% of the reason why you formulate the thoughts you have about yourself based on what other people says and based on what society says about you. I know growing up, I've always been very curvy. And it's funny now when I see people getting plastic surgery to have curves. I always had them and was always made to feel like I was fat when I was in high school because I was always very shapely. And of course, fast forward into, the age that I am now in my 40s, I totally understand a lot of that was either jealousy from other women and them trying to take their own negative feelings that they had about themselves and put it against me. But none of that even matters when you get to a certain point in your life. You get to start to really understand yourself. And as you, of course, as I always say, walk through your self-love journey and start to really focus on your self-love journey, you'll realize that everybody has some level of insecurity. It may not be outwardly expressed, it may not be outwardly evident, but everybody struggles with something. So the fact that you look at somebody else and think that they have something better than you, or something that they're doing, or whatever, the way they look is more superior than you, understand that person struggles with something too. We all do. It's a total recalibration of the way that our minds think about ourselves that will determine whether or not we are able to overcome those negative thoughts and negative feelings about ourselves. So when it comes to your sexuality, you can't skip the process of healing. You can't skip the process of going internal and trying to analyze why you feel the way you feel about yourself. One of the things that we talked about on my relationship talks was doing mirror work. And I'm not sure if everybody's aware of what mirror work is, but mirror work is basically when you stand completely naked in front of the mirror and you look at every part of your body. You talk about all of the things that you hate about it, whether it be your breast, your stomach, your thighs, whatever it is that you don't like about yourself. And after you go through and rip yourself a new one about the things that you don't like about your body, then you go back and you speak kind words and affirming words about your body. So say, for instance, for most of us women, that have had children, especially women like myself that have nursed, your breasts don't look like they did before you nursed and before you had children. So you look at your breast and you're like, okay, well, you know, I love the fact that my breast was able to provide nourishment and nurturing for my children. Or they may not be the perfect size or that I want them to be, or the, you know, as perky as I would like for them to be, but they serve this purpose. And then you go and you talk about each body part and just really beginning to embrace your body. So even if you don't like something about your body, like I know one of the areas that I struggle with is really just toning up my thighs. I have always had very big legs, so I'm always trying to tone up these thighs and get the stomach flatter and get more abs, and you know, I'm always trying to do that. And you know, just talking positively about the things that you see with your body and doing that mirror work. If you do that on a consistent basis of just really embracing the beauty of your body and the fact that, yeah, you know, my whatever doesn't look the way I want it to, but at least this part of my body allows me to, you know, I have free movement of my hands, or, you know, my arms may not be as tight as I would like for them to be, or my legs may not be as toned as I want them to be. But even while I'm in my process of working out and doing the things that I got to do, eating right to get my body where I want it to be, at least I know that my arms and my legs are working. I have the full functionality of my limbs. I have, you know, and even for someone that doesn't have full functionality of their limbs, you know, there's still something beautiful about you. There's still something amazing about you, and embracing that. And you can't ever bypass those types of things in order to get to that ultimate place of embracing your sexuality. So on this YouTube channel, I always try to focus on what can I do to encourage someone, what practical things can I tell someone to help them on their self-love journey. And for me, it's really about embracing the things that make you uniquely who you are. You are an individual. You are unique. Your fingerprint is unique. And to compare yourself to anyone else or to any other societal standards is doing yourself a disservice. It's basically saying to God that what he created wasn't good enough. And that doesn't mean that you don't work towards getting to the place where you get the body that you want, and you don't work towards getting the working on the areas that you can work on. I'm not saying that we have to do the practical things to get to the things that we want to get to. It's not going to just fall out of the sky. But while you're on your journey, just embrace who you are. And the more you embrace who you are and you start to love yourself, the more easy it is for you to know how to love somebody else, and to really truly understand intimacy and truly understand how to be vulnerable and let yourself be free to express yourself. You know, knowing your own body, knowing what pleases your body, and not being afraid to tell your partner what it is that you need. It's so important to be able to have that open dialogue when it comes to your sex life. I feel like sometimes we think that if we have to say it, then it's not as sexy, or it's not as thrilling or exciting. But in reality, nobody reads anybody's mind. So it's very rare that you will meet somebody and they know exactly what it is that your body wants and exactly what your body needs. I can't say it never happens, because I have experienced that without having to say anything. But I think a lot of that was the connection that I had with that person, and the chemistry that I had with that person. So we just basically kind of flowed that way. But it's very rare to get to that place with a person. So you gotta be open and have open dialogue and say what it is that you like and what it is that you need, what turns you on. And I have to go here because I think sometimes women don't even know what they like. They don't even know what turns them on. And in those instances, if you don't even know what turns you on, how are you expecting somebody else to? So you've got to explore your own body, and you've got to know what you like. And that may take, you taking some classes, reading some books, trying some things, experimenting with some things to see what it is that you like, and being okay with that, and not feeling a sense of shame with understanding your own body. I hate that society makes us feel shameful about our bodies, because our bodies are beautiful creations that God gave us, and it's meant to be explored. It's meant to be pleased. It's meant to be pleasured. And I want you guys to start feeling comfortable doing that, asking for what it is that you want, and if you don't even know what that is, take some time to explore your own body, because if you don't know what you want, how can you expect your partner to be able to please you? Because he's definitely not going to know, or she's definitely not going to know what it is that pleases you if you don't even know what pleases you. So you've got to do the work to know how to please yourself and know what you like. And if you don't do that particular thing, then you'll never really fully understand what your body needs and what your body likes, what your body doesn't like. And so I don't want to keep harping on the same thing, but this is such an important topic, because it's something that I think people have to get rid of the stigma that's associated with sexuality and with sex, and begin to embrace it, because you can't go through life being what everybody else wants you to be. At some point, you've got to just step up and say, no, I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to have what makes me pleased and what I like. And I need to be able to express that. And it may not always be well received. And if it's not well received, then that's just not the person for you. So I just want to encourage you guys with that. I love you guys very much. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.